I'm gonna be real, I love Dragon Ball. From the quirky and goofy humor, to the dragged out fights, to the iconic transformation. However, as of late, I've noticed a shift within the fandom. Even before the upsetting passing of Akira Toriyama, RIP the GOAT, a lot of people seem to despise newer Dragon Ball. And everyone's entitled to their own opinion, okay? I'm not saying that. I agree on some points people have. Not liking the animation, storyline, new characters, etc. But I feel like modern Dragon Ball has done some good in terms of letting characters shine like a lot of people want. It's been a big complaint, I would say, near the end of the old Dragon Ball and the beginning of modern Dragon Ball. And look, this is just in my honest and humble opinion. Sometimes it's best for some characters to stay as side characters. Like, I'm just saying, okay? Some people are like, we want Tien back, we want Krillin back. It's low-key, it's a little too late for them, I'm gonna just be honest. But it's done a good job at making Goten and Trunks relevant again. Same with Piccolo and Gohan. Hopefully he stays consistent this time. Like it or not, modern Dragon Ball is responsible for 3, if not more, of the most iconic moments in the series. We had no new Dragon Ball material for 16 years. We had video games come through at that period of time, AMVs, Yo Son Goku, a trash ass movie, Dragon Ball Z Abridged, Dragon Ball Z Kai, and then Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods, the movie that brought Dragon Ball fans together again. Not only did Battle of Gods bring back old fans and be stapled as one of the best Dragon Ball movies of all time, it even brought new fans who have experienced a lick of Dragon Ball, or if they did, it was through memes, the internet parodies, you know, it was small shit. They weren't really fans of it. But when Dragon Ball Battle of Gods came out, they probably were like, okay, let me just go see it since I know a little bit about Dragon Ball. I'm like, oh, hold up, this is actually fire. From that point on, Dragon Ball Super was announced. The manga came back to the forefront of shonen, and while Super did start out pretty rough, the downs of Super were miles better than the downs of GT. The downs of Super made the hype moments even more satisfying. Cause yeah, having all hype moments of course would be dope, but I can't help but think sometimes we need those low points. Sometimes we need a little slice of life, a little filler action, you know what I'm saying? So that the peak moments can really have us sugar, like, oh my God. Then modern Dragon Ball has this.
Killed her!
Let me be honest, coming from someone who didn't start watching Super until the pandemic. Yes, I know. Look. I've been a Dragon Ball fan since 2013. I was 8. And I spent those years watching Kai, you know, when I grew up. Then I watched Z, then I watched OG, then I watched the abridged version, then the movies, and then I saw Super in bits and pieces. I just didn't get into it till later, even though I knew what was gonna happen because I got spoiled, of course. Just seeing future Bulma get murdered like that shit fucked me up. And of course, we cannot forget about this. Y'all can disagree with me if you want. I can already see comment number 5 about to be pressed. Shout out TSO. This Ultra Instinct is on the same level, if not arguably better than the original Super Saiyan. Listen, look, hear me out. I'm not trying to belittle Super Saiyan, okay? That basically pioneered anime transformations. That is the father of anime transformation. But do y'all not see that hype? The fact that Crunchyroll or the site crashed, the fact that broke the motherfucking internet when that happened. One Piece ain't doing that. What? Anyway, matter of fact, let me rewind a bit. You know, we gonna go back. Let me show y'all this shit. Now, I know we have our opinions about Resurrection F, but that's probably the coldest shit since Frieza's dad. Get it? Cause Frieza's In my opinion, I think there's less lows than highs in Super, but the lows get real fucking low. The first two arcs, why the fuck did you retell the Battle of Gods and Resurrection F in the worst way possible? And then we get to the Universe 6 arc. Okay, that, you know, like a lot of people don't like it, but I don't think that's too bad. Then we get into the Goku Black arc. You know, we're not counting the filler. We're not counting that copy Vegeta shit. We're not gonna talk about the end. We not. Okay, we're gonna act like that didn't happen, but that beginning was strong as fuck. So we'll say like the Goku Black arc is half a W. Hell, I'd rather watch the Goku Black arc 20 times than the Super 17 arc in GT 20 times. Let me say, people gonna really think I hate GT. I don't. And then we got the Universe 7 arc. I mean, Ultra Instinct, but like low key, the middle of it was very fucking dragged out. But you know what? We got more goods in Super than bads in Super. You know what I'm saying? We got the Broly movie. We got the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, Battle of Gods. You know, we got good shit in the shit. I could go on and on about the iconic moments of modern Dragon Ball, but in this video would just be a glaze fest. But there are legit people that think everything past Battle of Gods is just awful. You know, while everything is subjective, I don't really think that's true. The recycled ideas, I guess I could get. The Goku and Vegeta show can get old. Nah, I mean, not really. A lot of stuff can feel dragged out for nostalgia. Them bringing back Frieza 50 times. They brought back Cell, which low-key I wanted, but I didn't want it in the way that they did. Like, obviously they can't bring back Cell, but like, they could have made, okay, side tangent. They could have made Cell Max a little bit more smarter. Okay, I'm just saying, cause like him just being basically a Broly Cell, that's kind of, I don't really like that. But what I think a lot of it is, old head fans just can't let go of the past. And before you say, well, technically Dragon Ball is doing the same thing. First of all, calm the fuck down, you little. Second of all, I'm not talking about characters returning. I'm not talking about forms becoming canon. I'm not talking about characters becoming canon. I'm talking about the thirst of wanting the old style animation, wanting Bruce Faulconer back. Yes, I've seen actual comments regarding that. Okay, he said hypothetically, so maybe he didn't mean it all that serious, but for the sake of content, we're gonna take it serious. Let me address both of those. Dragon Ball's animation and a lot of anime's animation will never be the same as it was back then. For the people that don't know anything about animation, back in the 90s, in the 80s, and probably even the very early 2000s, like literally the year 2000, anime and cartoons were animated using cell animation. That's where everything is done by hand. People have to paint, ink, oil stuff, and everything will be drawn frame by frame, paper by paper. By 2005 and 2010, cell animation was dead due to how costly it was, how much space it took to keep everything. Everything is now animated digitally via drawing tablets, computers, etc., which still takes time, but it's less expensive and a little bit quicker than cell animation. Animation studios have now tried to replicate that old school anime look with filters, certain digital pens that they use to give that. Even then, I'll still see in some comments comparing Dama flashbacks or the superhero flashbacks to the actual scenes of Dragon Ball Z, and people say the old school animation is way better, bro. Ain't nothing better than Super or Dama. I'm like, shut your bitch. They'll literally compare a screenshot that comes from a movie that was spent more time on, not a weekly series. They'll compare a special that, again, kind of like a movie, was spent more time on. There wasn't a time frame where they had to get it out. They kind of did, because like it was around the Android and Cell Saga time, but they could spend more time on it because it wasn't supposed to be out by like the next week or something. You know, like they could get it out within the next month or some shit. To my knowledge, since the Dragon Ball Super days, the animation industry has gotten a little bit better with scheduling and not being super on a time crunch. Correct me if I'm wrong. And before anyone says, well then why were the flashbacks in Daima good but the flashbacks in Super were trash? It's because they worked on that for like a year, maybe 2 years. Yeah, the old school animation look I feel like fans kind of gotta let go of. Now, as far as Bruce Faulconer, English dub anime doesn't replace the original soundtrack anymore, okay? Thank God it doesn't. But you know, I know a lot of y'all grew up with it. I know it's nostalgic to a lot of y'all, but that's not the original way Dragon Ball Z was intended to be watched. I'm not saying you can't watch it that way. You can watch it however you please. I don't give a fuck. But we are never getting another situation like Bruce Faulconer. And also, even if, big if Bruce Faulconer were to work with Funimation or something again, I don't think he would even get the chance to, due to the shit that he has done. Bruce Faulconer had a falling out with Funimation for legal reasons. When Dragon Ball GT arrived to the US, it was a different person composing the soundtrack, because they replaced both the Z soundtrack in the GT soundtrack.
He's still alive!
See, oh my gosh. Okay, bitch, I'm literally on Reddit and everywhere else looking. Let me read. Okay, look. Okay, side tangent. I'm gonna put a timestamp for y'all to skip. Let me read this shit. I'm gonna screenshot it. Listen. Oh, how I wish Faulconer still did music for Funimation. This is 9 years ago. This is well when Super was out. I like that they keep it original now. And I'm a fan of both soundtracks. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I'm a fan of both soundtracks too. Like, I don't hate either one. I'm very neutral when it comes to Dragon Ball. Yes, Toonami Kid here, good for you. His score just had an intensity to it. Insta hype. It makes me sad how much hate it gets. Just cause you like OG score better doesn't mean Faulconer's is worthless. What a bitch ass. Oh my god! In conclusion to that, we're never getting a replacement score in any animes again, and I highly appreciate that. And again, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I feel like y'all are gonna take my tone as I'm saying it's bad. I'm not. You can consume Dragon Ball however you please. In conclusion, I feel like modern Dragon Ball is a good thing for the series and franchise as a whole. As we all know, the future of it probably will never be the same, and Toyotaro, what the fuck? Toyotaro, what the freak? As we all know, the future of Dragon Ball will never be the same, and Toyotaro probably has a lot of pressure on him, and it doesn't help when some of the fans get all toxic with their criticism on his art or writing style. Like, some of y'all gotta chill the fuck out. But with time, I feel modern Dragon Ball will only get better from here. Toyotaro's gonna cook up a good arc for the manga, and as far as the anime, I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. I feel like the peak moments of modern Dragon Ball will unfortunately have to just come out of a movie form or video game form or the manga form. As far as another anime series, we just gonna have to see. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, breathe fire on that like button. Make sure to check out my other content, and I'm gonna be talking more about Dragon Ball related topics in the future. Subscribe here if you are new to become a Z Warrior. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single video that I upload, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. Peace out.